The controversial YouTuber known as Twomad has passed away. What's poppin', is Shaman? Let's talk about it. Since my last video I just uploaded was talking about controversial people, I feel like this was kind of a topic to be talked about because this person is very controversial, and I even thought that it might have been a prank by him or someone else until I see that TMZ has confirmed it on multiple platforms. Other sources have confirmed it, and even his county's coroner's office has even confirmed in the registry for him. So yeah, it's confirmed. Law enforcement checked on him the other day for a wellness check because people hadn't heard from him for a week. He's been missing appointments, and I think one of the big signals that people saw when they were worried about him that he was on Overwatch for 6 days, which I think was a big red flag because most people don't stay on Overwatch for even an hour now. And he passed away at the age of 23. That is like really crazy that he was just so young. I'm thinking though that probably a mixture of the stuff that he was going through and what he was accused of and what it probably was doing to his mental state put him in a bad situation, as the TMZ article goes in about. The TMZ article states, "We were told Twomad hadn't been heard from in several days by concerning parties, and he even missed some appointments. As a result, the LAPD was sent to check on him. And when they arrived, they found a body, although it's unclear how long it had been there in that state. Our sources say that there was drug paraphernalia found on the scene. At this point, we are told that this is being investigated as a possible overdose. No foul play is suspected in the death." And the cause of death hasn't been confirmed. To state, drug paraphernalia can be anything from, you know, weed to cocaine to crack to needles to whatever. It's not very specified. It's just drugs in general. And I don't know Twomad too well. I don't know if he is the type of person to do drugs like that, but at the same time, it could line up going through what he was going through. To let you know, if you don't know, Twomad is a controversial person, but he was also going through even bigger allegations of raping, stalking, trying to murder people, and child molestation. And for you to understand, Twomad was getting so many allegations. He even got more allegations after his death. New allegations that just came out from a guy named James Sky on Twitter, talking about all the stuff saying that Twomad is the person that y'all thought he was. He is a horrible, bad person. And it kind of has the internet divided because it's like, oh, why did you post this after his death? Why didn't you post it when he could respond? But I don't think he would have responded anyways. He really has just been shit posting and all that anyways. I was debating on bringing this up in this video, but I think it is important, and like it's going around and it's so viral right now, and I think it's important for the context of Twomad. But since these are new allegations, you have to take with a thing of salt, and that these things are not totally concrete, but things are kind of lining up with some things that we already knew about Twomad and some of his stuff. And this kind of says where his well-being and his mental were lately. So I think it's very interesting, and it's just good for y'all to know and just kind of understand if you don't know who Twomad is, as these allegations come from a guy that actually had drama and beef with Twomad, and he comes and addresses some of the things that he was going through behind the scenes with him. So the statement and the allegations from James Sky goes as follow. "I can finally say it. Twomad was a rapist and pedophile. Over the past few years, he tried to murder me multiple times for helping the police and detectives in multiple states to investigate a lot of the horrible things that he's done. He wanted to take out multiple innocent people's lives, getting behind a wheel and going head on to the freeway while being high on illegal drugs. He didn't succeed once he overdosed before killing anybody, so he tried it again." And how that part sounds to me so far sounds like this wasn't his first time overdosing, and it probably was the drugs that got him. James Sky continues, "Despite trying to murder me and multiple innocent lives, I've been trying to help law enforcement to make sure he's safe and doesn't get hurt and doesn't harm anybody. Please remember, he is a rapist and a pedophile. He continued to prey on the vulnerable even after the police got involved, including a 13-year-old in a mental hospital. The tragedy does not excuse any of his actions. I will address a lot of stuff when I fully collect my thoughts. The past few months have been total mess. Reason why I've ended up in the ER. Please give me time." So yeah, this thing really just came out kind of divided on it. I mean, a lot of people are just like, yeah, Twomad is a bad person. And others are like, why did you kind of wait till now to say it? And just like with all things on the internet, there's people that praise him. There's people that are upset about this. It's always divided no matter what. And people are upset that why did you put this out after his death? Because we can't get his side of it or him response or fight back, whatever. But how I see it is this guy, James Sky, if he really is getting threatened by Twomad and he's working with the police and all that, you can't really say anything while you're doing this investigation because you would be messing up the investigation. You know, this is evidence that you have to hold and keep silent until court and all that. So when the person passes, you're able to freely say it. And I feel like that's kind of where he's coming off, is like, I've had to be silenced about this and work with the cops and the police and detectives and all this. But now that the person has passed, the investigation's over, there's no files or nothing going to be charged. So it's free to speak, whatever. And it's just really crazy to get all this news in the middle of Valentine's Day. Like, this is really wild. People over here, you know, trying to have fun, spread love and all this. And this guy who came from being like the internet's meme and locale and people liking him, who spread nothing but hate at the end of his life, who really just became, you know, a troll online, just shit post a lot. A man did a lot with his life, from meeting Belle Delphine, battling the K-pop community, having a famous meme. And to go from that and having a community that really supported you to having such a fall from grace that this man had at the end of his life. Because if you didn't know, within the last year, Twomad really got ousted by a whole bunch of people on being a groomer, a pedo, a rapist, all this stuff. It's just like, this man was a whole different person behind the scenes. And I guess it's like, hey, well, he was an internet troll. It's not like internet trolls are known for having the best personalities, but it is still sad for anyone's passing. But at the same time, I feel like the internet's divided on, yeah, this guy kind of deserved it. And others were just like, hey, nostalgia, this guy made me laugh a lot too. But sometimes our idols are just bad people. And that's something that's hard for a lot of people to wrap their head around. That's what I talked about in my last video, that sometimes bad people make great art or make moments that hold you by nostalgia. But I think what you could take away from this Twomad situation is like, yeah, really, you have to be careful out here. Having a whole bunch of negativity that you put out in the world is only going to come back at you. There's probably a lot of demons and things that he was facing because of it. When you put out such bad energy for the world, you end up getting it for yourself back. And you know, I think that's what Twomad had to face, and probably why he might have had to use drugs to cope with a lot of the negativity that he had. That's why sometimes when I get hate comments in other platforms and all this, it's like, I feel more sad for the people that are commenting it, because it's like, why are you so angry in life? Like, is that the best thing you really can do, is just to be mad about something? Like, I don't give it much attention, but for some people, that's like their whole thing is, I want to shit post, I want to talk shit, I want to do this, blah, 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 bring people down so they can feel like how I feel. And it's like, damn, that's just really sad, man. But I'm not here to be the whole executioner on Twomad. I know some stuff about him. My friends have told me about him. I don't do much on him. I had just seen this situation and they wanted me to talk about it and cover it. So I decided that I'd talk about it for a bit. But yeah, he died at age 23. It's really crazy. I mean, I really do feel like it probably is the overdose thing. So just to say to y'all, like, understand that drugs, when you're going through stuff, they're not going to make it better. They just kind of numb it, and it's just going to make it worse. And it can lead to you losing your life. So please be careful out there. Don't try to do any of the extreme drugs like crack, cocaine, whatever. I mean, there's safe stuff like, you know, good old 420, whatever. But, you know, just try to live y'all lives and try to be the best person you can be. Try to spread more positivity, because when you bring negativity to your life and spread it to others, it's just going to come back to you tenfold, and you're going to end up going through stuff like this. But yeah, let me know y'all thoughts down below. Like, I really want to know what y'all think about this. I know a lot of people are divided about this guy. Like, I know some people think that, like, yay, he's gone, he deserved it. They're all happy. You know, he made a lot of enemies. Like I said, the K-pop community, he trolled a lot of people. He spread a lot of negativity. So at the end, a lot of people are like, yay, whippy, he's gone. And other people are like, hey, I grew up with Twomad, I enjoyed him and all this, and they feel like, oh, it's just sad to see someone pass away. But if you see my last video, you kind of know what my take is on this and how I feel about this situation. So I really want to hear how y'all feel. And yeah, man, this situation is crazy. This was a wild way to end off Valentine's Day. But much love, everybody. Stay safe. Don't do drugs. Much love. Peace.